For most of human history, the world outside your small tribal circle was a zone of absolute terror. Survival meant caring deeply for your own kin and ruthlessly fearing everyone else. There was no concept of generalized humanity, only us versus a hostile them. So how did we ever learn to look into the eyes of a total stranger and see ourselves? This is the story of our most difficult invention, the slow, painful birth of universal compassion. In ancient empires, mercy for the conquered was viewed as a dangerous defect, not a virtue. A defeated enemy wasn't a person, they were a resource destined for the sword or the chain. But what force could possibly crack this millennia-old armor of indifference? Slowly, radical new philosophies whispered a dangerous idea, that every life held a spark of the divine. Yet these were just words, often ignored while real bodies broke under the whip. It took centuries for that whisper to become a moral shout that shattered actual shackles. The global movement to abolish slavery was a watershed moment for the human conscience. For the first time, people fought and died for the freedom of strangers they would never meet. But once the visible chains were broken, were we brave enough to see the invisible ones? We slowly expanded rights to workers, to women, and finally to the refugee at the border. Today, through screens, your heart can break for a tragedy happening thousands of miles away. That instant connection is a moral miracle our ancestors could never have imagined. So why, with all this progress, does our world still feel so brutally divided? Because the instinct of tribalism is ancient, while the choice of empathy is brand new. The circle of compassion is still drawing itself, and the hardest lines are the ones right in front of us. Empathy is not a finished inheritance. It is a fragile muscle we are still learning to flex. The final boundary isn't geography. It is the stubborn limit of our own imagination. The future of humanity depends on how wide you are willing to draw that circle today. Watch the full story in our explainer video, link in the captions.